Lindo, speak to us about where you are and how serious the situation is, given the fact that there's quite a lot of panic that the country could go into harsher lockdown restrictions now with this new variant at play.
Well, Heidi, we are in Sentin, and there's actually an event of a food truck event here that is taking place. But these are initiatives really that are actually ongoing to try and help some of the people that had been affected by the lockdown, the initial lockdowns that we've been confronted with before. But of course, there is the pinch of worry right now. And in fact, to say a pinch of worry is an understatement. There is some concern around this new variant and also what it means for such gatherings. We know that the spotlight will be turned on public gatherings. Of course, this after we've seen political parties doing huge rallies. But of course, at the end of the day, it is the businesses that get affected. We are at one of the events here, and I first want to touch base with some of the organizers, Tyler and Tibos. Thank you so much for joining us. But just give us a sense of what this event is all about. I know you mentioned something about dusting up food trucks that had no business before, but just tell us what this event initiative is all about.
So, yeah, Thabo and I both have been in events for many years, and we just wanted to bring something new to the audience. A lot of markets, I think, closed down during lockdown, and what we wanted to do here is something completely new to Johannesburg even. So we wanted to get food trucks together, you know, people that have been in the industry, they have really cool brands, cool trucks, but they just have really nowhere to showcase them all in one space. So that's why I think this event is so important. It's to foster like a food truck community and a street food community within Johannesburg, Sandton Central, rather than being in the CBD.
I mean, as event organizers, you know that numbers mean business for many of these food trucks that you are trying to help out. But I'll bring you in there and speak about what we are confronted with. A press briefing of the health department was during this week speaking about a new variant. And without going into the details of what that means, we know from experience that when they say a variant, it means stricter lockdown restrictions. But just talk to us from an events perspective, events organizers perspective, just what are the worries that you are confronted with at the moment?
Yeah, man, you know, with COVID and with events, it's a numbers game, right? And as soon as like there's a stay and there's news like that, you know, it kind of affects their mentality, you know, people to come out and go out, you know, and be exposed with other people, because subconsciously you think like, oh, I'm going to contract COVID at an event because there's a lot of people. Where instead we do take major protocols and procedures to protect our people in the event spaces. And I mean, like, also it would be dope if maybe our government and our health departments will incorporate event planners, because we know how to manage people and we understand how to manage people, you know, in terms of working together. But yeah, man, there's like so many things that can be done together with the health department and the eventing team and perspective. Yeah, okay.
I'll come back to that point in terms of what can be done to work together with these spheres of government to ensure that people are still protected, but also livelihoods are being protected. Tyler, what I want to speak to you about is to bring us to closer to what are the effects here, because such an event, you spoke about food trucks, but there's someone actually performing right now, someone who's actually going to receive some form of income because of this. But just give us a sense of the people that are actually affected in this particular space if it were not to be possible.
So that's the thing. So I think the events industry as a whole has suffered tremendously, and I actually saw that while, you know, we were putting this together. We had to rope in not only the staff here but the infrastructure suppliers. So if you think about someone who's a alcohol distributor, a food distributor even, furniture suppliers, sound requirement suppliers. So it's all those, even the alcohol industry, you know, it's all of those people who we kind of like said, come guys, let's come together and let's do something that's, you know, beneficial for everyone. I think even the hospitality industry has really taken a knock during this time, and that's why Black Brick was so open to doing this crazy idea, because they also needed something fresh, something new to add to the market, as well as the musicians. You know, they haven't had a chance to play. So even we've been getting so many requests people asking, how do we get involved? Not only the musicians, but food trucks, everyone, you know. So I think it's we have to support our community, and we can only do that if we do it ourselves.
Okay, we are almost out of time here, Thabo, but in a sense that you were speaking about, the working together with government, you are saying that events organizers are able to actually accommodate, and safely so, within the confines and the restrictions of COVID-19. Just very quickly give us a sense of how you believe you can work together with government to actually host some of these events like this, but also at the same time keep people safe.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, like, be inclusive, you know, as a health department, be visible in these spaces, you know, make sure that people, they understand the importance of being vaccinated, you know, or being tested, you know. I mean, like, in South Africa, I haven't really seen most of the rapid testing stations, you know, especially on events, because we need people, right? If we're just gonna broadcast that, oh, there's a new variant, people need to stay home, I mean, like, it kills people's minds. Just like they don't want to go out, you know. Whereas they can go out, they can still be safe, they can still be protected if the department is involved, you know, and is on site on the actual events, you know. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much to you both, Tyler and Thabo, the event organizers of this very important event. In fact, it's so important that I'll even step into the rain and show you. These are the food trucks, Heidi, that normally you would have them not be able to go out because obviously of COVID-19 restrictions. And at the moment, it is an event to actually dust them up, get them back into business. And such events are quite important if you look at them and not just look at how public gatherings have been bashed throughout. So certainly, these are some of the things that stand to lose, or some of the industries that stand to lose when it comes to a new variant and the potential announcement of stricter restrictions. But this particular industry and the event organizers are saying, let's work together instead of putting restrictions that would just put a damp on things. So working together, having such events, but also observing protocols. That's the appeal we are getting from this particular event, Heidi.
Great, thanks so much for that update. It's such a pity that the weather is also not helping. But that is eNCA reporter Lindokuhle Xulu, who's out in Sandton.